We're going to have some fun today. We're going to turn this turn signal into this turn signal. Get rid of the last of the chrome. So let's start off with exactly what you need. Of course, your turn signals. Heat gun, because we're baking these apart. We are not cutting them. No need to cut. Your paint, I use the Rust-Oleum 2X. I love the way this stuff sticks. Never had an issue with it falling off, cracking, spidering, any issues. A cleaning cloth and some cleaner, because after all, you want to clean them. You'll need something to pry it apart with, the lens, when you get it nice and hot. So a screwdriver, panel pop tool, preferably metal. You don't want plastic because then it gets hot and tries to stick to it. Last thing, some Scotch-Brite pads. Now these work great because the little grooves inside the turn signals and stuff, you want to get down in the grooves to sand off the chrome, or sand down the chrome. So for difficulty, I'm going to say 3 out of 5, just because if you've never done this before, it can seem a lot more difficult than it is. And it can be a little bit more difficult because you're scared to just commit and do it. You don't know pressures, like as you're pulling on the lens, you don't know what to feel for right before the lens cracks. So you can screw stuff up, but it is really hard. This is a great starter of getting your feet wet before doing your set of headlights. You can check out the link right here on the card and at the end of the video for the headlights. Time-wise, it's all paint drying. It is literally going to take you 15 minutes to get out, 5 minutes to take them apart, 5 minutes to sand, 2 hours or so to paint just because you're waiting on dry time, say 2 hours to put 3 coats on there or something. And then you got to wait like 24 hours for the paint to fully cure. I'll cover that later in the video, but that's why it takes so long. Step 1 is to get everything out of the way. So first part are these 3 screw clip things. Just unscrew them a little bit. Ignore the dirt. I live down a dirt road. This is literally one trip. Now you got to get the fender liner out of the way. And this is the fun part. Up in there, I can't show you, but up in there are tabs that line up with this black cover right here. And that's how you get the black cover out. Now, in theory, you can reach up underneath this body edge and just pull it out, but then you risk breaking all the clips and you also risk damaging your paint. So let's not do that. Literally, I'm pushing on the tab and it just won't slide out. There we go. Now, another thing I can't show you. Well, yeah, I can. See how well I can show this. Way up in there, where is it? It's hard to see. Get this camera up in there. Right up in here, I don't know how well you can see that. There's one here and then another 10 millimeters right above it. Right above the plug. So we'll get the plug out of the way. You just twist it out of the way. And then you can get to both of the 10 millimeter nuts, which are actually not that tight. There's the last one. And there it is. So we're here at the arts and crafts table, or whatever you want to call it. I see tons and tons of people chopping these lenses apart with a Dremel or coming through and cutting through here. So your objective is to actually accomplish this, where the lens is baked completely apart. And then I'll show you how to put it back together later, but so to get it apart, so to get this lens apart, if you look over here, you can see there are actual tabs. There's bug guts too. You can actually, those tabs, you'll be peeling those up. First we need to apply some heat. And I've taken my heat gun, turned it all the way up, and I'm going to run it around here, not stopping. You know, you don't want to sit in one spot, you want to keep moving. And keep moving around, and it'll become pliable. And then you'll be able to get your screwdriver down into these gaps, I start in this corner here, and then start working my way around here, because this corner is the hardest corner to get out, and then the whole headlight, the whole turn signal lens will actually separate right off. And there you have it. But you want to leave it inside of the lens facing down. So the exterior of the lens facing up. You don't want dust, grime, anything, grease, whatever touching the inside. And do not touch it with your fingers, because once you bake these back together, you can't exactly clean it. See, this is going together really easily. Now the fun part, the meticulous part, is knocking all the shine off of all this chrome. And that's what this comes into play for. So you just sit there and you just over and over. Show you the actual paint I bought. When I filmed the intro, I did not have it here yet. It was being brought to me. I bought the 2X flat black, which is exactly what the headlights were done in. It works great. It sticks to this chrome. Don't have any problems. But let's get on with this. So you can see there's still a little bit of shininess. That's really, really, really hard to get rid of. But the point is, the majority of it's all gone. So you'll take your prep all or your alcohol or whatever you're cleaning it with. Just don't use anything soapy. And as you notice, when I'm done, I always set it upside down. And the reason I set it upside down is so, well, I just cleaned it. I don't want dust settling on it yet. Because this is 2X, it covers very, very fast. So you have to be very careful when putting the first dust coat on. Now I always do a real light coat, call it a tack coat. And I give a good distance away, so if any of these big driplets come out of this nozzle, it doesn't land on it. That's good for the first coat. Got smart wear glove this time. For the second coat. And it's just a matter of letting them fully cure. Now, this is a very important part. Read your paint. Okay, so now it's time for patience. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take mine outside once they cure to the touch in an hour. I'm going to actually take them outside and let them warm through the sun. Now the sun itself is actually going to speed up the full cure time process. Now what it's doing is all the chemicals that make the paint wet and sprayable evaporate out. Now they need to go somewhere. They need to go out. They need to be free away from your lenses. So don't do the whole, it is dry in an hour, I'm baking everything back together and putting it together, because there is a crap ton of those chemical vapors that will be trapped in that housing and stick to the lens. Now, it's not like you have a black lens or anything, but it can cause clouding, micro cracking, all kinds of issues you do not want to have. So let's be patient, and I'll get back with you when mine are nice and cured. I got my lens, and again, heat gun. Now the objective is, I don't know how well you can see that, but all the adhesive down in the bottom gap all needs to be reheated. So to do that, you just, well, you need to focus heat on the inside of this rim all the way down and around. And then quickly grab the lens, put it back on the same way you took it off. Down there, make sure you get it all lined back up. If you have clamps, I'd say clamp it. I don't have any clamps here. So I'm just going to sit here and squeeze and hold this till it cools off. Now if you start to squeeze this down, it won't squeeze down all the way. Get it as close as you can get it. And you take your heat gun, like we did to bake it apart, and heat this area. And squeeze it some more, and squeeze it some more until you get it all down in there. Now on to the most satisfying step. That is putting everything back together. See? Really nice. Much better than the chrome ones. If you want to check out any other or any more DIYs that I got, check out my channel, subscribe for more DIYs. Thank you for watching, and always have a good whatever time of the day it happens to be.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school. So you can feel cool. Give it to me, baby. Baby. Yeah.